Hello, everyone. This is Arvee Robinson, the master speaker trainer, international speaker, and author. And I am just want to say welcome to the $1 Million Speaker Podcast. Yes, welcome. You see, this podcast is very different. This podcast is all about to teach you how you can become $1 million speaker, reach millions of people, and make millions doing it. How cool is that? Say that's cool. So today we are going to talk about your message matters. That's right, because in order to be $1 million speaker, you have to know the importance of your message and why you need to get it out there. So today, for the next 15 minutes, I want to share with you some powerful, actionable information as to why your message is important. And I want to motivate you to become part of this public speaking community and podcast. And last, I want to invite you to learn how you can share your message. So let's get started. So the first thing I just want to share is why public speaking. You might be thinking, why public speaking? I know for me, if I understand why I should do something, I'm a lot more apt to do it. So why public speaking? Because your message matters. And we are going to spell out an acronym today. And the acronym we're going to use today is MATTERS. Matters. Your message matters. And we're going to spell that word out. Now, the M in matters is for message. Why public speaking? Why get your message out there? Because you have a message to share that only you can share to people that can only hear it from you. And that message will save someone's life, save someone's business, or save someone's soul. That's why it's so important. And I used to think that if you couldn't deliver your message, someone could deliver it for you. And then one day I'm in church and I hear the deacon say this. He said that each and every one of us has gifts from God. God gave each and every one of us unique gifts. And if we don't use those gifts, they will be unused for all eternity. And in that moment, I thought, that's it. That's it with our message. If we don't get our message out there, it will be undelivered for all eternity. And that means the people whose life you were supposed to save, or businesses, or even souls, go on suffering. So I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to get your message out to the world. So that's the M in matters. Now, the A is for audiences. You've got to pick the right audience. You have a target market, and you will have the biggest impact when you speak to your target market. But let me share with you a little something about how audiences have changed over the years. You see, back in the 70s, we used to pay good money to be bored, to hear a lecture from some celebrity or some, whatever. Anyway, we don't want that anymore. And in the 80s, it changed. And the 80s audiences demanded that they quit the lecturing. They wanted more of a presentation. So we started to see actor-like speeches and big big actor-style speeches. And audiences then in the 80s said, we don't want that. We want more of a conversation. And that's when we first started hearing people speak from the heart. We heard that term, speak from the heart. Doesn't mean you can ramble. It just means you can be more authentic. And then now where it's at, where public speaking is at, is experience. Your audiences want an experience from you. They want to be part of your presentation. They want to be involved in some way. And let me share with you where public speaking is going, because that's the interesting part. And I'll tell you, this is all I do is teach public speaking or coach public speaking or speak myself. So I know where it's going, and a lot of those trends I've even set myself. And where it's going is this: naked authenticity. Naked authenticity. That means your audience wants you to be real. They want to know who you are really. They want to know what your core values are. So it's no longer correct to be politically correct and try to pretend like you're kind of, whitewashing everything. If you believe in God, then say God. Don't say higher power. If you believe in higher power, then don't say God, right? So say what you believe in and how you believe it, because audiences want to know who you are so they know whether or not they resonate with you and want to do business with you. The T in matters is trained. You must get trained. If you want to be $1 million speaker and you want to get your message out to millions, you have to get trained. Public speaking needs to be respected like any other business, any other industry. You wouldn't think about going into the financial industry without being trained, or the real estate industry without being trained or certified. You must get trained. And there's a lot of training out there. I train people. I've trained over 5,000 business owners, but there's a lot of public speaking trainers out there. Get trained, and don't just get trained by one. Go to all of them. See, they all have something to offer. So get trained. And now one of my clients, Jenny Okada, she is an esthetician, and she would sit in these classes when they were talking about, products, and she just dreamed about being the one on stage doing the training, doing the speaking. So she came to me, got trained, and next thing you know, she got a speaking engagement in her field, in her industry, a huge one, a face and body show, and she got to be one of the speakers. Now, this never would have happened if she wasn't trained. Number one, she wouldn't have went looking for it. Number two, the opportunity wouldn't have come to her, and it did. So she got trained first, and then the opportunity came. So get trained. Now, John is a real estate professional, and John was a young guy, only about 25 years old, going to college, and he wanted to really make a difference. He wanted to do something different. He wanted to speed things up. So he came to me, went through my training, and lo and behold, he now sells one house a month. That is totally unheard of. One house a month. He sold 12 last year. So again, this stuff really, really works. All right. So your message matters. Let's get back down to the T, or train. Let's get to the second T, which is transformation. Transformation. Your audience wants a transformation. They don't want just to hear a 30-minute speech. They want to be moved. And you see, they want permanent change. And permanent change only happens after a period of time. So you need to offer your audience a way to work with you, a way to get that permanent change or that transformation, right? A coaching, a strategy session, whatever it is that you offer, you need to make sure that you know how to offer it from the platform so that they too can have that kind of transformation. The E is for energy. Energy, you must bring it on when you speak. You must bring on the energy, full throttle when you're on that stage. Do whatever it takes for you to have your energy up. Maybe go to bed early the night before. Make sure that you're, well rested. Make sure that you're well fed. Whatever you need to do to have that kind of high energy that you need to bring to the stage. Now, the R is for revenue. The R is for revenue. You can make so much money by speaking. This is, again, the $1 million speaker. One of my clients, Dr. Sean Powers, is a chiropractor, and she's a speaker and she's a coach teaching other chiropractors how they can create a $1 million practice. She gave one speech after working with me and got one client, attracted one client. And guess what? That client paid her $10,000. And then when that contract was up, the client renewed for another $10,000. So one 45-minute speech got her $20,000. Now, it doesn't have to be that long of a speech. Now, Pete is an accountant. Pete did a 30-minute speech He got 8 new tax clients at $750 each. That's $6,000. And 2 bookkeeping clients that are worth $1,680 each month. Times that times 12 is $20,160 per year. Times the 2 clients, that's $46,000, right? Now you put those two together, the 6,000, the 46,320, and you've got $52,320 from one speech. Now that's not even counting the life of the client. That's just 1 year. So this stuff really works. Now, you don't have to have 45-minute speech or 30-minute speech. Now, Adrian is a bathroom and kitchen designer. She spoke for 5 minutes using my formula, and she got 1 client, which is worth $5,000. 1 client worth $5,000. All right, so this works. It works. If you know how to do it right and you are trained, you too can make a ton of revenue. Now, the last one is the S for stories. S for stories. Now, there's 4 stories that you must have in your presentation, in every presentation. And that is your professional story, which earns you the right to be speaking, a success story like I've shared with you here, emotional stories, and story with a lesson. So let me just share with you an emotional story and what that is. And I want to share a story about my husband. Now, my husband is such a sweetheart, but I call him a bum magnet because everywhere we go, there could be a bum across the parking lot and they'll see my husband and come rushing to ask him for money. He just has that kind, generous face, and he really is kind and generous. So one day we're at the grocery store, we're walking in, and there's a homeless guy sitting on the ground right next to the entrance, and he asks us, he says, "What is the greatest nation in the world?" And my husband looked at me and looked back at him, and he said, "Well, it's the United States, of course." And the bum looked at him and he said, "No, it's donation." So my husband gave him $20. So emotional doesn't always mean sad. It could be funny. Emotion is funny is an emotion. And always remember that funny equals money. So put stories in there. So our time is just about up today. We just spelled your message matters, and we just spelled the word matters. If you want to be $1 million speaker, you need to know that your message is important. You need to know what audiences to, is your target market. You need to get trained. You need to have some way of transforming your audience through a coaching program or a workshop or some sort of training program. You must bring all your energy to the stage, and you must be able to make some revenue for yourself and, again, as you're helping others. And the S is for stories. You must add stories to your presentation. So this is Arvee Robinson, the master speaker, trainer, international speaker, and author, signing off. Have a very good day.